Hey, what's up everyone, and welcome back to another video. In today's tutorial, we are going to build a simple play to earn idle game on the Polygon zkEVM network. This simple game is a idle game that we're calling Crypto Farmers, where you get a farmer and you can purchase tools which you can then stake to earn a ERC20 token as a reward. You can then use that token to buy more tools to make more ERC20 rewards. We're going to cover quite a bit in this video, so to break it down, we're first going to cover how to get funds for the Polygon zkEVM network. We do have to bridge some early ETH over to get some funds to use. We're then going to build our smart contracts for our game. It's going to involve a few contracts. We're first going to create the ERC1155 contract for our farmer. We'll then create an ERC1155 contract for the tools that we'll be using in the game. We'll also create an ERC20 contract, which will be the rewards that the user will earn by staking those tools. And we'll also create an ERC1155 staking contract, which will reward out those ERC20 tokens depending on the tools staked by the user. Now, before we jump into it, let's take a quick look at the demo of this game. So right here on my computer, we have our crypto farm game. We have a few things up top where we can play and shop. We do need to connect our wallet first. So I'm going to connect my MetaMask wallet here. Once we have the wallet connected, it's going to check if we have a farmer. We do need a farmer to play. If we don't have a farmer, it will bring us to a claim farmer page where we can claim a farmer. We'll confirm the transaction to claim one. And once we have a farmer claimed, we'll be brought to the game dashboard. So you can see here, I own a farmer. My ERC20 reward is called Carrot, which I don't own any carrot right now. I also don't have any inventory, so we can shop for our tools. And I don't have any equipped tools yet to earn me Carrot. So we're going to first shop tools here, which will bring us to our shop page. And our shop page, we have a few different things here. We have wheelbarrows and tractors. They are going to cost some carrot though for us to buy, so we won't be able to buy those yet. We can buy a shovel though, which is free to claim, and we're just going to click on buy here. We'll confirm this transaction. And once we have purchased the shovel, we'll go back to our dashboard here. And you can see in our inventory, we now own a shovel and we can equip that shovel. So if we click on equip, this will state our shovel tool. We do have to set approval if we've never staked any or equipped any of our tools yet. So we will approve this and then we'll confirm our transaction to equipped. And once it's equipped, you can see we no longer have any tools in an inventory because it is now equipped and it is now staked, and we can unequip this shovel, which will unstake the shovel. And you can also view the claimable carrot that we have here. Now, what I have the shovel set to is it earns 1 carrot per minute. The other, if we look at our other tools, the wheelbarrow earns 2 carrots per minute and the tractor earns 3 carrots per minute. Now, we didn't go in depth on building out a working game and the economics of it. This is just to show you how you can build the concept of the game and how you can build a simple idle-like game with staking functions. So if we come back here, we still haven't earned any carrots, so we'll let some time pass and then we'll see how much carrot we have earned by equipping our shovel. And now that some time has passed, we can see here that we do have some claimable carrot. I did wait a little bit longer just so we can purchase a new tool with it. But you can see here we have 6.8 carrot available to claim. We can claim this carrot. We can confirm that transaction. And once we have claimed our carrot, you can see we don't have any claimable carrot for our shovel, but our carrot balance is now at 6.8. We can come back to the shop section here. And if we look at a wheelbarrow here that costs 5 carrot, we can buy a wheelbarrow and we'll just set a spending cap. We'll just make it the max 6.8 and we will confirm that transaction. And once that is purchased, we can come back in our inventory here. We can see we have our wheelbarrow and we can now equip our wheelbarrow to also start earning some carrot. We'll confirm that transaction. And once that has been staked, we'll see it pop up here. You can also see the carrot balance has been reduced back down to 1.8. And we now have a wheelbarrow equipped along with our shovel. And if we wanted to, we could unequip our shovel here. We can confirm that transaction. That will add our shovel back into our inventory, and we only have the wheelbarrow that will be set in our equip tools here. And that there is the basic demo of the game that we're going to be building. And without wasting any more time, let's get started. Now, the first thing we will have to do to build this on top of Polygon zkEVM is we are going to have to get some funds that we can use on the Polygon zkEVM network. Now there are a few bridges that you can use, and you will have to bridge over Gurley ETH in order to get some Polygon zkEVM ETH, and we'll link down a couple of bridges that you can use. I am on Polygon's bridge right over here. We'll drop again this down in the description. We are going to be deploying this on testnet, not mainnet, so you do want to make sure you have testnet products turned on. We're gonna once you have your wallet connected, we're going to go over to our bridge. And we can see here in my wallet, I have 0.31 Gurley ETH, and I'm just going to deposit 0.1 of that Gurley ETH and bridge it over to zkEVM testnet. And that's what we're going to bridge over to our zkEVM testnet. So once you have that set, we will bridge ETH to zkEVM. I do need to switch networks here to Gurley, and we will confirm that transaction. And you can see here that there is a pending transaction for the Gurley ETH that we're bridging. You can see right now it's estimated about 15 minutes to bridge it over. It does take some time, so just be aware of that. And once that is complete, we'll be right back. And once the time has passed, you should see your pending transaction now turn to this here where you can claim that transaction. So we'll click on claim transaction. We'll have to switch networks to the Polygon zkEVM testnet network. And then from there, we'll confirm this transaction to accept our bridged funds. There we go. So if we take a look at our wallet, I already had 0.995 in here, but you can see we claimed our assets and we got 0.1 more ETH. And now that we have our Polygon zkEVM testnet funds here, let's head on over to thirdweb and create all the contracts we are going to need for this project. So on thirdweb's site here, we're going to head over to the dashboard and we're going to browse contracts. Now, the first contract we are going to create is an addition drop contract. And if we click on this, this is an ERC 1155 standard contract. This is also known as a semi-fungible token or semi-fungible NFT. This means we're going to create one NFT, our farmer, but we can have multiple owners of that NFT. So instead of having thousands and thousands of individual farmer NFTs, we can just create one NFT and allow people to claim that one NFT. And if you want to read a little bit more about the ERC 1155 edition drop, you can read more about it here. You can view all the contract extensions that come with it, and you can even view the source code and the functions of the contract. But coming back up to the top right, we're going to click on deploy now. We're going to name our contract here. I'm going to name this farmer and dev, and I'm just going to call this farmer for the symbol. I do have an image here that I'm going to use of our farmer. Now, depending on what you want to set up, you can set up the royalties, the primary sale wallets, and these are the wallets that the funds are going to go to. You can set your royalty percentage. You can also set your platform fees if you choose to do so. Now, down here at the very bottom, we're going to select the network or chain to deploy to. We are going to deploy to the Polygon zkEVM testnet. And once everything is configured to your liking, we can click on deploy now. We'll confirm that transaction and we'll sign to add it to our dashboard. And once that has been successfully deployed, it'll bring us over to our contract dashboard here. We can see that there is a contract checklist and we have completed first task, which was deploying the contract. The next one is to upload our NFT, and we can head on over to the NFTs tab. And here we can create our farmer NFT. So we're going to select single upload. We're going to name him farmer. We're going to get our image of our farmer here, and you can add descriptions and properties or traits to your NFT. Once that's done, we'll select a lazy mint NFT here. We'll confirm the transaction. And once it has successfully minted, you can see we have our token ID 0, our farmer NFT here with a supply of 0. Now, before we move on to the next contract, we do have to set up the claim conditions for this farmer NFT. So by selecting the farmer NFT, we will come over to the claim conditions tab. And this claim condition is going to set the conditions for being able to claim this NFT. So we can set price and requirements for this specific NFT. Down here at the bottom, we're going to select add phase. We can name our phase, when it's going to start, how many NFTs are going to be in this drop. We're going to leave it as unlimited. We're also going to leave it as free to claim, and any wallet can claim this NFT. Now, the only restriction we're going to put here is you can only claim one of these NFTs per wallet. And once that is done, we are going to save phases here, and we'll confirm that transaction. And once that has saved, that does it for our farmer. Now we're going to come back to, I'm going to open up another tab here, and we're going to browse contracts again, and we're going to do the same addition drop. This time, this is going to be for the tools that we will be able to buy and stake in order to earn the carrot token. So we're going to select addition drop one more time, click on deploy. We're going to name it farmer tools, and I'll just name this one with symbol F tools, and I'll just select the image of our shovel here. And again, you can set all the royalties and wallet addresses to your liking, and we will deploy this again to the Polygon zkEVM testnet. And we'll confirm that transaction, and we'll sign to add this to our dashboard. And once that has deployed successfully, again, we'll be brought to our dashboard here. We can come to the NFT tabs, and just like our Farmer NFT, we can now create our tools. So I'm going to select single upload here. We're going to do shovel first. We got our shovel image here. We're going to lazy mint this NFT. We'll confirm that transaction. Once that is done, we'll do that again. This time we'll do wheelbarrow. We'll get the image for our wheelbarrow tool. We'll lazy mint that one, and we'll confirm that. And we'll do one last one for our tractor. Get our tractor image and lazy mint this NFT. Confirm that transaction. And we now have our tools. Now we're not going to set up the claim conditions just yet, because we do need to make sure that these tools are able to be purchased with the carrot token, which we haven't created yet. So coming back to, I'm going to open up another tab here. Back in our homepage, we're going to browse contracts again, and this time we're going to select the token. Now the token is an ERC20. Now the token is an ERC20 standard token, and this is going to allow us to create our carrot token. So we're going to click deploy now. We're going to name this, we'll name it farmer rewards. Symbol is going to be carrot, and we'll upload an image of our carrot here. And again, you can set the wallet addresses and configure things to your liking, and we're going to deploy this on the Polygon zkEVM testnet. We'll then confirm this transaction and sign to add this to our dashboard. Once brought here, we can see if we check our contract checklist, we deployed our contract. We just need to mint our first token. Right now, we don't have a supply. We have 0 carrots, and we don't own any carrots as well. So we'll come on over to the token tab here, and we can now mint our carrot token. And you can put in whatever supply you want of carrot tokens. We're going to do 1 million, and I'm going to mint this token. We'll confirm this transaction, and we now have 1 million carrot tokens. Now I'm going to copy this contract address for our ERC20 token for our carrots. I'm going to come back over to our tools section here. Now we'll set up the claim conditions for each one of these NFTs. Now the shovel is, we'll come over to claim conditions and add phase. We'll have an unlimited amount of shovels. It's going to be free to claim because we want our users to be able to claim at least one tool for free so that they can start earning carrot. The amount though, we're only going to allow them to claim one free one per wallet. So we're going to save this phase. We'll come here and confirm this transaction. Once that has been saved, we'll click out and we'll come over to the wheelbarrow next. We'll set up a claim condition for this one. We'll add a phase. Again, unlimited. We're going to change the amount we want to charge for each NFT. And in this dropdown, you can actually add your own custom ERC20 token. We're going to paste in the address that we copied from our carrot contract, hit save, and we can select how much carrot we want to charge for this NFT. So for the wheelbarrow, we're going to do 5, and we're going to leave any wallet, and you can claim an unlimited amount. You just have to pay the fee, and we'll hit save phases here. We'll come over and confirm the transaction. And once that's saved, we'll click out and head on over to our last one, which is the tractor. Again, claim condition tab, we'll add phase. We're going to drop down and select our custom ERC20, put in our carrot address and click on save. And we're going to charge 10 carrot for the tractor, and we'll click save phase. Confirm the transaction. And once that is done, our farmer tools are set and our contract is finished. So we have our farmer NFT, we have our tools, and we have the reward token, which is our carrot token. Now we're going to create one final contract. I'm going to open a new tab here. come down and we're going to browse contracts, and we're going to scroll down to the staking section, and we're going to deploy a ERC 1155 staking contract. And what this is going to allow us to do is when someone equips or stakes a Tool NFT, they'll be able to earn a certain amount of carrot per a certain amount of time. And that's how our idle game or our play to earn game is going to work. People can stake these tools, earn carrot, use the carrot to buy more tools, stake that to earn more carrot. We're going to click on deploy. We're going to name this. We're going to name it Crypto Farmer, and we'll just call it C Farmer for the symbol. And we do need to add a few things in here. We need to first add the contract address for our reward token. Then we need to add the contract address for our tools. And then we need to also set the default time for our rewards and how much rewards they're going to earn for that time. So let's get our carrot contract address first. We'll copy that, come back here, paste that address in. We'll get our tool address next, copy that, paste that back in. Now, default time, this is the, if we look here in numbers, for example, if you want to give rewards out per hour, then enter 3,600 as the number of seconds. So we're putting in the amount of time that is going to pass, and whatever time we put, they are going to earn whatever amount of rewards we put in here. So again, we're doing 1 minute rewards, so we're going to put 60 seconds. And now the next one down here is the rewards per unit time. So every 60 seconds, how much rewards are going to be earned. Now this is going to be the default amount. What we're going to do later on, once our contract is deployed, is for each token ID from our ERC 1155 contract, we'll be able to assign a reward amount to each one of those tokens. So we'll be able to assign a reward to the wheelbarrow token and then to the tractor token. This is just the default value for the deploy. Now this value does need to be in Way. So if you need a converter or anything, we can just come over here and search for a Way converter. We'll drop one down in the description below as well. So the amount that you want to put is going to be in Ether, so we want 1 carrot per minute, but the value we need to input is this Way value here. So we'll copy that, come back to the contract address and paste that amount into the rewards per unit time. Once you fill those things out to your liking on what you want to reward, and you put in your token address and your staking address, you can deploy this to the Polygon zkEVM testnet. We'll confirm this transaction and then sign to add this to our dashboard. Now, once that has been deployed, there are a few more things that we need to set up in this contract. Again, the default amount is no matter what token we have staked, it is going to earn 1 carrot token per minute. But we want to make sure that our users earn more tokens if they are staking a wheelbarrow token or a tractor token. So coming to the Explore tab on the left-hand navigation here, we can look at our read and write functions of our smart contract. And if we come down to set rewards per unit time, this is where we can select the token ID and how much rewards that token ID is going to earn. So if we come back and look at our tools here, we have token ID 0 for our shovel. That is already set to the default of 1 carrot per minute. We're going to set the wheelbarrow and the tractor. So token IDs 1 and 2. The wheelbarrow is going to earn 2 carrots per minute and the tractor will earn 3 carrots per minute. So coming back to our staking contract here, again, let us put the token ID 1. This one is going to be 2 carrots per minute. Again, this value has to be in Way. So we can come here to our converter. We'll just put 2 carrots. We'll copy that Way value, come back here and paste that in. Then we'll execute this and we'll confirm that transaction. And our transaction has gone through. Next thing we're going to do is token ID 2, which is a tractor. And this one's going to be 3. So I'm just going to change the first number here to 3. And we'll execute that transaction. Then we'll confirm this. And there we go. That transaction went through and we now have our reward set for our wheelbarrow and tractor NFTs when they are equipped or staked. And the next thing we need to do is we need to make sure that we approve this staking contract and we deposit the carrot tokens into this contract so that it can reward out those tokens when people claim them in our game. So we're going to come over here, copy our contract address of our staking address. We're going to head back over to our carrots contract and head on over to the Explore tab. Under the write functions, we need to approve the staking contract to be able to spend these carrot tokens. So we're going to paste that contract address there, and then we're going to enter the amount that the contract is allowed to spend. Now again, this is in way, so we can come back to our way converter here, and we'll just put 500,000 for now. So put 500,000. We'll take that way amount, come back to our carrot tokens here, and paste that amount in, and we'll execute that transaction. We'll then set the cap to 500. That's 50,000, 500,000. Make sure that's right. Yep. And we'll approve. And once that is through, we can now come back to our staking contract and we can deposit our reward tokens. Now, the amount of reward tokens we're going to deposit is again that 500,000 in the way amount. And we will execute this and confirm. And once our transaction goes through, if we take a look back at our carrots here, we come back to our overview. We have our transfer and approval set, and you can see we only own 500,000 carrots in this wallet that created the carrot token, and the other 500,000 is now owned by our staking contract, which it can use to now reward users of our game. And there we go. We finished creating all the necessary contracts that we need to deploy and create our play to earn idle game. We created an ERC 1155 contract for our farmer. We created an ERC 1155 contract for our tools that we are going to allow people to purchase and equip to earn more carrot tokens. And we created an ERC 20 token contract for our carrot token, which is going to be our in-game currency or reward. And we finally created an ERC 1155 staking contract, which is going to reward our users different amounts of carrot depending on what tools they have equipped or staked in our game. Now, the next thing we need to do is actually build our game app and our front end that users can interact with to be able to play this play to earn idle game. We're going to do that right now and head back to the computer. Okay, and now let's get started on building that front end. So I'm going to go into terminal here, just enlarge this screen. And we're going to start off by creating our application. Now I'm going to run npx thirdweb. I'm going to do @latest to get the latest version, and we're going to do create app. We'll then have to name our project. I'm going to name this Crypto Farmer. We are going to use EVM because, again, we are using the Polygon zkEVM network. I'm going to use Next.js and TypeScript for this project. And once that is done, we'll just change into our Crypto Farmer folder here. And what I'm going to do next is install Chakra UI, and Chakra UI is just going to be the UI library that I'm going to use for this project just to make our application look nice without having to do much custom styling. Now go ahead, feel free to use your own styles or follow along here, but I will be installing Chakra UI for this demo. And once that finishes, we're going to open this in our code editor. Let me zoom in just a bit. And now that we have this open, I'm going to head into the pages folder here and go to the _app.tsx file. Now in here, we're going to first set up Chakra if you are using Chakra. So I'm going to import Chakra provider, and we're going to wrap our component here and within our thirdweb provider with the Chakra provider. I spelled Chakra right. There we go. And we're also going to have to make sure that our active chain is set to the Polygon zkEVM. Now to do that, we are first going to import, I'm going to get rid of this, and import the Polygon zkEVM testnet from thirdweb chains. Now, once we have that set, we're going to comment out this active chain here, and we're just going to set our chain to this Polygon zkEVM testnet. So right here in our thirdweb provider, the active chain set, we're going to set to Polygon zkEVM testnet. And that's going to set up our whole application so that we can now know what network our application will be interacting with our smart contracts. After that, we will head over to our index.tsx page, and there is some templated code here. I'm just going to delete all of this for now, and I'm going to just create a container here and set this container's max width to 1200 pixels. Get rid of the styles here. And within our container, we'll add a heading, and we'll just have the heading say Crypto Farmer. We'll save that. We'll open up our terminal in our code editor here, and we'll run yarn dev, and we'll take a look at our app here. So we'll let this load. And you can see here we have our header that says Crypto Farmer. So everything is looking good so far. Now, if we take a look at our demo project, we need to first create this little nav bar up here. That's going to have a connect wallet button. So even if we disconnect this wallet here, we're going to have a connect wallet button, some navigation to our play screen or our shop, and the title of our app, which is again Crypto Farm. So I'm just going to close the terminal out here. I'm going to get rid of connect wallet because we're not going to need it here. In our directory here, I'm going to create a new folder, and this folder is going to be called components, not in my pages though. And within that components folder, we're going to create a new file, and we're going to call this one navbar and then .tsx. Now within this navbar file here, we're going to create our navbar. I'm going to import a few things that we're going to use from Chakra and our connect wallet button from thirdweb, which is going to allow us to use the connect wallet UI component. And with all that, has the built-in features to connect any wallet you want to our application. And then for our application, we're going to create again a container with a max width of 1200 pixels, some padding on the top and bottom. We're then going to add a flex here and give it a direction of row. This will be so we can put in all of our navigation items and they'll be spaced out within the nav bar. So first we'll add our heading, which is going to be Crypto Farm. Then we're going to add another flex here to add in our two links. We're going to use a link here. First one is going to be play, which is just going to direct us back to our homepage. And then the next one is going to be a link to our shop, which we will create a shop page later on. And then again, we're going to use that thirdweb UI component called connect wallet. All we need to do is put in this connect wallet, and it's going to give us a full functioning connect wallet on our app. We'll save that and we'll go back to our _app tsx file, and we're going to drop in our navbar right above components here. That way it's always shown above the contents of our page. So coming back over to our app demo here, you can see we now have our navbar with our links here, and we have our connect wallet button. This is the heading that we just had in our index file. Now coming back to our editor, we're gonna, in our directory here again, we're gonna create a new folder, and we're gonna name this one const, and this is where we're going to store a file that is going to hold all of our contract addresses, just because we do have 4 contracts that we'll be interacting with, and we do have to interact with them quite a bit. So we're just gonna store a file in here called addresses.ts, and in here we are going to store our contract addresses. Now let me get rid of these demo addresses here, and we're going to have to get our farmer address, our tool address, our rewards address, and our staking address. So again, we can get that from our thirdweb dashboards. We can just come back here. We'll do our farmer first. We'll copy that, paste our farmer address, come back. We'll do our tools, copy that. Then we have our reward token, and then we have our staking address. And again, that is just so we can reference these addresses easily throughout building our application. Now let's head back to our index.tsx file here, and let's set up our homepage. Now the first thing we want to do is let's take a look back at our demo application here. When a wallet is not connected, we want to present this welcome screen here with a welcome to Crypto Farm and a connect wallet button. And once someone does have a wallet connected, it will prompt them to either claim a farmer or to our game. So we first need to check if a wallet is connected, and we can do that by getting the user's address. And if there is no address to get, then we know that there is no wallet connected. So we can create a variable here called address, and we're going to use the use address hook. And what this will do is it'll get the address of any connected wallet to our site here. So what we can say is if there's no address, then we can display this here. So if there is no address, what we'll do is display a container with a flex and a heading of welcome. We'll spell welcome correctly. We'll display a heading saying welcome to Crypto Farm, and then it will display a connect wallet button, which we will actually import right here. So if there is no wallet attached, we don't have an address. Therefore, we will return a little welcome heading and a connect wallet button. Next, we want to check if a user owns a farmer, because if they don't own a farmer, we're going to prompt them to a claim section where they can claim a farmer so that they can start playing our game. Now we're going to set up a bunch of stuff here. First, we're going to set up all our contracts. So we're going to get all of our contracts. And we're going to use the use contract hook from thirdweb. And all we need to do for this is pass the contract address of the contract that we're looking to get. Now we're going to store all of these into different contracts. So we have our farmer contract, we have our tool contract, staking contract, and reward contract. And again, we're using all of the matching contract addresses that we stored in our variables folder. Next, we're going to check the owned NFTs from the farmer contract. So we're going to use a React hook called use owned NFTs from thirdweb. And what this is going to do is it's going to take our contract that we want to check an owned NFT for. In this case, we want to check the farmer contract, and we want to check the address of the wallet connected. So we want to check how much NFTs does the connected wallet own from this smart contract. And we'll store that data in owned farmers, and we can also check if the data is finished loading by setting the is loading, and we're going to put that as a loading owned farmers. So now under here, we can check if owned farmers dot length is equal to 0. This means that they don't own any farmers. Then what we're going to do is return a container with the claim farmer component, and we're going to create that little claim farmer component in just a moment. But again, this is just checking. We're going to check the length of owned farmers, and if it's equal to 0, we're going to prompt the user to claim a farmer. Now we'll also just add a little loading area here. So if we're still loading the farmers and checking to see if the wallet owns a farmer or not, we're going to put this container here with this loading spinner. That way we have something visual for our users to see that we are still checking to see if they own a farmer. Now we'll create this claim farmer component. So under our files here in our components folder, let's create a new component called claim farmer.tsx, and in here we will again import a few hooks and UI components from thirdweb, our farmer address, and some Chakra UI components. So for our claim farmer here, we're going to get our contract for our farmer contract. That way we can interact with it. So we're going to use the use contract hook again and get pass in our farmer address, and we're going to use the use contract metadata on our contract that we just got, and that's going to give us back the metadata of our contract. So it's going to give us things like the contract description, the contract image, which is what we are going to use, and you can also get things like the contract name. So for our claim farmer component here, we're going to again create a container. Within that container, we're going to create a flex and with a direction of columns, so they're all stacked along on top of each other, and we're going to center everything as well. We're going to add a heading here called claim farmer to start farming, just so our user knows what they have to do. Then we'll add a box, and within that box we're going to use a UI component called media renderer, which is going to take the metadata of our contract, and within that metadata there is an image, which is the image of our farmer contract, and we'll just set the height and width to 300 pixels. Then we're going to use a UI component called a Web3 button. Now, a Web3 button is a button that allows us to interact with a smart contract. It requires we have at least two things. The first thing is the contract address of the contract we will be interacting with. In this case, it is our farmer address. And then the action. So what action or what function is this button going to do on top of our contract? So in this case, we are on our contract. We can specify it is an ERC 1155, and we can call the claim function. Now the claim function is going to ask us what token ID first we want to claim, which in this case is token ID 0, because we only have one token ID, or one token, which is our farmer, and then the quantity in which you want to claim. And for this one here, we're only going to allow them to claim one, because again, even with our claim conditions, we made it so that a user can only claim one NFT. So we'll save that here, and if we check back in our index.tsx, we will make sure to import our farmer component, and we can come back to our app here. And right now we don't have a wallet connected, so let's connect a wallet. And once we have it connected, we should be brought to our claim farmer because we don't have a farmer yet. Now our next step is to create the game dashboard. So once someone has claimed a farmer, the actual dashboard that they see. So again, we can take a look at the demo app that we had here. We're going to be creating this dashboard where it's going to show our farmer and their carrot balance, the inventory of unstaked tools that they have, and then the equipped tools of the staked tools that they have. So we're going to build this section next because this is where a user will be brought to once they claim a farmer. So back in our code editor here, we're in our index.tsx file. And the next thing we're going to do is over here, we are going to get our owned tools. So we're going to check what tools does the user or the wallet connected owned. And we're going to be again using the owned NFTs, and we'll be using this time the tools contract, and we'll be checking it again with the wallet that is connected. So the address, and we'll store that in owned tools. We'll do the same thing with equipped tools, although equipped tools, because this is our staking contract, we're going to have to use the use contract read hook here. And the use contract read hook is going to allow us to call any read function from our staking contract. We first have to specify what contract we're going to be calling this read function from. In this case, it is our staking contract. Next is going to be what read function are we calling. And after that is any arguments that that function takes. So we're going to be calling the get stake info. So if we come back to our staking contract dashboard here, under Explorer and under read, we are getting the get stake info function here, and you can see it takes in an address of the staker, which is the connected wallet that we have. So again, the contract is the staking contract. We're calling the get stake info read function, and we're passing that address of the connected wallet, and that is going to give us back the equipped tools. So it's going to give us back the NFTs that the wallet has staked within our staking contract. And then next we want to get the balance of the carrot tokens of our connected wallet. So again, we're going to use the use contract read, this time on our reward contract. We're calling the balance of, and we're passing in the wallet that is connected because we want to know what the balance of or how much carrot tokens does the connected wallet own. And we'll save that and we'll store that under reward balance. Next, we are going to clear out this kind of placeholder that we had for our homepage. And in replacement, we're first going to, again, create a container with a max width of 1200 pixels. We're going to create a simple grid with 2 columns. And this is going to be, if we come to our demo app here, this is going to be the 2 columns. So the farmer section here and the inventory section here. So this is just splitting those 2 sections up. And in there, we're going to create a card with a padding of 5. This is going to be for our farmer section. So we'll add a heading called farmer. And then we're going to in there create a simple grid again of 2 columns. On the left hand side, we are going to create a box. And within that, we are going to get our owned farmers and map through that. And for each farmer, and for the farmer that the wallet owns, we are going to create a div, and in that div, again, use the media renderer, this time getting the NFT's metadata and displaying the image. And we'll set the height and width to 100%. Now on the right hand side, we are going to create another box, and in this one we are going to create some text here. I just created some small font size and made it bold, and it's going to display our carrot balance. Now to get our carrot balance, we're going to check our reward balance. Again, remember, if we come back up here, this reward balance that we got from reading our reward contract and getting the balance of. Once we get that reward balance, we're going to display that balance. Now the balance is a big number, so we are going to have to format that big number. So we're going to use ethers.utils.format units, and we're going to pass in our reward balance, and we're going to format it to 18 decimals, which will give us the whole number instead of like a way value or something of our carrot rewards. Now we'll set up the right hand side. We'll create another card. This again is going to be the section for our inventory. So we'll add the heading of inventory here. We'll then add a skeleton to check if our tools are still loading. If they are not loading, it won't show the skeleton, and instead it will display our inventory, which we are going to create in a moment right after this. And then we're going to create the bottom section, which is our equipped tools. So for that, we are going to create a card with some padding and some margin on the top and bottom. We'll then add a heading of equipped tools, and we'll create a simple grid in there. And that simple grid is just going to be divided into 3 columns. So one is going to be for our shovel, the other for our wheelbarrow, and the last one for our tractor. Now what we're going to have to do, what we'll do here is we'll check if we got our equipped tools data, and the first item in that equipped tools data is going to be the staked NFTs that we have. So what we'll do there is we'll map through that and we'll get the NFTs that are staked, and we will then create an equipped component to display those NFTs. And that does it for our dashboard. Now what we need to do is create this inventory section or inventory cards and our equipped cards for our tool NFTs. So we'll start off with the inventory ones. So back here in our components, we'll create a new file and we'll call this inventory.tsx. And in this inventory file here, we're going to import some things that we're going to be using, including our hooks from thirdweb. We're also going to be importing an NFT type from the thirdweb SDK, our contract addresses, and some UI components again from Chakra. For this inventory, we're going to first create some props here, and NFT is going to equal an array of NFTs. And what we're going to be doing for our inventory is mapping through the NFTs that we pass to it to see which tools do we actually own. So we're going to make it equal to the NFT type, an array of the NFT type that we imported from thirdweb. Then we'll create our inventory component here. And the first things we're going to have to do is we're going to have to get a few things. We're going to get the wallet address of the connected wallet. We're also going to get our contract address. We're also going to get our tool contract and our staking contract, because one, we're going to have to display the tools that we have purchased, and secondly, we'll need the staking contract because we're going to need the ability to stake those tools if a user chooses to do so. Now, if a user doesn't have any tools, we're first going to check if the NFT.length, so if nothing is passed through this component here, we're just going to display that there are no tools, and we'll link them with a button to shop tools, and we'll link them to the shop page. Now, if the connected wallet does have some tools, we'll display them. And to do that, we will first create a simple grid, and the grid will have 3 columns. And within that grid, we're going to map through the array of NFTs that are passed through to our inventory component. And for each one of those NFTs, we're going to create a card. We're going to give it its key and a little bit of a padding. And in that card, we're going to use a stack from Chakra, which is just going to stack everything evenly and nicely within our card. The first thing we're going to do is display the image. So again, we're going to use the media renderer, and the image that we're going to display is from the NFT that it is mapped through, getting the metadata and displaying the image. We'll set the height and width to 100 pixels here. We'll also display the name of the NFT. We can get that from the metadata as well. And then we're going to give each NFT a Web3 button, and that Web3 button is going to allow a user to stake or equip this tool. Now, again, we're going to specify what contract address this is going to be calling this function on, and is going to be our staking address. And the action is going to be, we're going to create our own function here called stake NFT. And to stake our NFT, we need to know the ID of the NFT that we are going to stake. So let's create that stake NFT function. We'll come back up to the top here, and we're going to create an async function called stake NFT that takes in an ID, which is going to be a string. Now, if there is no wallet connected and we don't have an address, we're going to return out of this function here. Next, we're going to check if the user or the wallet is approved to stake the NFT, and we'll save this under an is approved variable here. And what we're going to do is on our tool contract, we're going to check if the tool contract is approved, and we're checking approval for our wallet address to stake the tool NFTs to our staking address. Now, if we're not approved, we do have to set approval in order to stake. And to do this, we are going to, on the tool contract, specify that it is an ERC 1155, and we're going to set approval for all. And we're going to set the approval for the staking address to true. Once we do have approval, we're going to, on the staking contract, call the stake function, which is going to need the ID of the NFT being staked and then the quantity being staked. And in this case, we're just going to pass 1 for this demo. And that does it for our inventory section. So again, this will display the ERC 1155 tools that the wallet owns and that can be staked. And if they do want to stake it, they can call and press our Web3 button, which will run our stake NFT function, which will first check approval to make sure that the wallet address is approved to stake the tool NFTs to the staking contract. And if not, we can set approval before doing so. Next, we're going to create our equipped section. So in our components folder, we're going to create a new file called equipped.tsx. And again, we're going to import a few things here, including some Chakra UI components, some things from thirdweb, some hooks, our addresses, and we'll also be importing ethers from ethers to do some conversions as well. And then for our equip component here, we're going to create an interface with equipped props. It's going to take a token ID, which is going to be a number, and then we'll create our equip component here. And the things we're going to need to get for this component are the address. So again, we will use the use address hook, store that in our address. We're going to get the staking contract and the tools contract again. And then we're going to need to get the NFT data of a specific NFT depending on the token ID on our tools contract. So what we're going to do is use the use NFT hook here. Again, we're checking the NFT data on the tools contract, and the ID of the NFT data is going to be dependent on the token ID that we get. And we'll store that under NFTs. And we also want to be able to check how much claimable carat each NFT has when they are equipped or staked. And to do that, we're going to use the use contract read. On our staking contract, there is a read function called get stake info for token. And what we can do is check the token ID and the wallet address. So we're going to check what token ID is staked for the wallet address, and what we're going to get back is how much claimable carat is claimable for that specific token. And again, what we are building is this bottom equipped tools section here, and we're building this card, this NFT card that we're going to be displaying. So we're going to display the info, how much are equipped, because you can have multiple, button to unstake or unequip the tool, and how much claimable carat this tool has, and a button to claim that carat. So what we'll first do is we'll just create a box here, and within that box, we're going to check if our NFT data, if we got our NFT data for that token ID. And if we do, we're going to display a card. We have some padding, and we did add a little bit editing ourselves here. And within that card, we're going to create first a flex and a box. And within that box, we are going to use media renderer again to get the image of that NFT. So again, the NFT ID that we get back, we're going to check the metadata, get the image. We're going to set the height and width to 80%. And then on the right side, we're going to display the information of the NFT. So we'll first display the name. So we have some text here. We made it a little larger and bold, and we're displaying the NFT's metadata name. So the name of the NFT. So shovel, wheelbarrow, or tractor. We'll then get the amount that is equipped. So we'll create a text here with equipped. And now the first item in claimable rewards is going to tell us how much of that NFT we have equipped. And we're going to format units, and we're just going to set it to 0 here. And below that, we're going to have a Web3 button that is going to unequip the NFT if someone chooses to unstake. Now, again, this is going to be calling it on our staking contract, and we're going to be calling the withdraw function, which is going to need the token ID that we're withdrawing and the amount that we are going to withdraw. Next, beneath that, we're going to display the claimable carats that NFT has for being staked. We're going to display the amount of claimable carats, and the claimable rewards, the second item, is going to be the amount that is claimable. Again, we will format the units and set the decimal to 18. And then we'll add a Web3 button under that. And for that Web3 button, again, we're calling this on our staking contract, and we are going to call the claim rewards function, and we just need to pass the token ID in which we're claiming those rewards for. And that does it for our equip. So we'll come back to our index.tsx file here. We'll make sure we import our inventory and our equipped component that we just created. And we can come back to our app here. Now let's disconnect this wallet just for demo. And again, someone comes to our game, they are prompted with this screen with a welcome to crypto farm. We have to connect a wallet, so we'll connect our MetaMask wallet. This wallet doesn't own a farmer yet, so we can claim a farmer here, and we'll confirm that transaction to claim a farmer. Once we claim a farmer, we're brought to our game dashboard. Now you can see our farmer is here. We do have a balance of 500,000 carats because this is the wallet that also deployed the carrot. But if it was a brand new wallet, of course, it would show 0. The inventory, we don't have any tools yet, so it's going to show no tools, but it gives the option to shop tools, and we don't have any equipped tools yet. Now, if we click shop tools, we're not going to be brought anywhere because we don't have that shop page yet, which is what we're going to build right now. So coming back to our code editor here, we're going to create a new page. So in our page folder, we're going to create a new file called shop.tsx. And in that shop.tsx file, again, we're going to import a few things, including our addresses, and we're going to create a new NFT component to display each NFT. So our shop page, if we look at our demo here, when we come to shop, it should show us the NFTs that we can purchase, and it should load the cost of those NFTs and have a button to purchase each one. So what we're first going to do is get our tools contract so that we can set up claiming for each NFT. We'll also use the use NFTs hook here and pass our contract to get data back on the NFTs. And for our shop, we're going to create a container, again with a max width of 1200 pixels. And in the top left, we're going to create a flex here with a link that brings us back to our homepage with a back button just for navigation. We'll add a heading that says shop. We'll then add some text that will be our subheading here that says purchase tools with carrots to increase your earnings. And then we're going to check our NFT data, and if we don't have it yet, we're just going to show a loading spinner. And if we do, we're going to create a grid and display those NFTs that we have in our shop. Now with the NFTs, we're going to map through each of those NFTs within our contract, and we're going to display them with an NFT component, which we are going to create. So to create that NFT component, we'll come back into our components folder, create a new file called nft.tsx. We'll import a few things that we're going to be using in this NFT card. We'll first create our type prop of NFT, again importing NFT from thirdweb's SDK. We'll then get our contract address using the use contract hook. And then we'll use the use active claim condition hook to get the claim conditions, including the price and everything of the NFT. And to do that, we just need to say pass our contract. And then we also pass the token ID in which we want to check the claim condition for. Because remember, we are checking this on an ERC 1155 contract, and each one of the NFTs in that contract has their own claim condition. So we want to make sure that we check it for the correct one. And then for each NFT in our shop, again, we're going to display it in a card. We'll use media renderer and pass the NFT metadata image and set the height and width to 100%. We'll then display the name of the NFT. So we have some text here. I just made it a little larger and bold, and we can get that from the NFT metadata name to get the name of the NFT. We'll then check if the data has loaded from the claim conditions, and if it has loaded, then we will display the cost of that NFT. We're going to display this with text. We're going to display cost, and we can get the cost from the data. There is a price. Now the price is again in a big number, so we'll use Ether's utils format Ether to make it a nice looking number that we can display. And we'll also display the currency, because if you remember, in our shop, our items are also sold in carats, which is our custom currency. So under data, we can get the currency metadata and the symbol of the currency. And if it hasn't loaded yet, we'll just show some loading text. Beneath that, we'll add a Web3 button that will allow a user to buy that NFT from our shop. And this will be, again, calling it on our tools contract. And we are going to be calling the claim function from our contract. We are going to be claiming whatever the token ID is, and we'll be claiming 1. So now coming back to our shop here, if we look here, when we map through the NFTs that are within our tools contract, we're going to pass that NFT item to our NFT component, and it will render out a card with the image, the cost, and a buy button for each one. So we can come back to our app here. And when we go to shop tools now, it'll bring us to our shop page where it will load our NFTs. We can see what they cost and we can purchase them. So for this one, because we have some carrot already, let's go ahead and buy a tractor. We can set the max to 10 because we're only going to be spending 10 carrots. So just approve 10. And then we'll confirm the transaction to purchase the tractor. Once it has been purchased, we can go back. We should see our tractor in our inventory here with the equipped option. So let's equip our tractor. Now it should ask us for approval first because we haven't staked anything before to this contract. So we will confirm and then confirm the transaction to equipped or stake this tractor. And once it has been equipped, you can see now we have it staked down here or equipped. We can unequip it and we can view the claimable carrot for this tractor and even claim that carrot. We no longer have it in our inventory, but we can go back and shop more tools if we choose to do so. And there you go. We went and deployed our very own play to earn idle game on Polygon zkEVM. We deployed a bunch of contracts from a couple ERC 1155 contracts to an ERC 20 contract and even an ERC 1155 staking contract. We also built an app to interact with those smart contracts so we can play this play to earn idle game and earn carrots. We also built a built-in marketplace so people can spend the carrots that they earn to buy more tools, which they can then stake to earn more carrots. Now, if you folks enjoyed this video and you did find some value in it, give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you don't miss out on tutorials just like this. If you haven't joined our Discord yet, join our amazing community of builders just like yourself. If you have any questions or you need any support, you can drop them in our Discord and we'll be happy to help you out. And again, I hope you folks enjoyed this video, found some value in it, and until next time, see ya.